Maddie, the Unseen Evidence, an incredible piece of journalism, full story, over 4 pages inside, pages 2, 3, 4 and 5. And it's all about the investigation into Christian Bruckner, the chief suspect in the Madeleine McCann case. He's thought to have been the main suspect for quite a long time. This is all about a documentary that you've made as well.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear thoughts build up until I can't feel. My mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear.
Hello and welcome to True Crime Rocket Science, the most authentic voice in true crime. Breaking news, Bruckner's hard drive suggests Maddie McCann is dead. The hard drive found at the suspect's factory contains evidence that Madeleine McCann is no longer alive. Now, in 2016, a dog ran into the property of an old factory and appeared to find a grave where Bruckner's dog and a bag containing 6 USB sticks and 2 memory cards with disturbing images were discovered. Before we get to that, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. If you're finding this analysis worthwhile, please do hit the thanks button and let's get started. Now, it's quite ironic that a dog is credited essentially with this breakthrough, just as dogs are credited with another breakthrough. The breakthrough in, August, end of July, August 2007. And in my opinion, that is the more legitimate one, the one in Praia de Luz, the one in apartment 5A, not the one in Germany. Now, what they found with Bruckner, they found records of Skype conversations with pedophiles, a suitcase with photographs of 4- and 5-year-old girls, more than 75 children's swimsuits, toys, bicycles, 3 weapons and ammunition. It really doesn't look very good. Bruckner is definitely a dead ringer for the pedophile abductor the Netflix series has sketched out in so much detail. What the Sun reporter has tried to do is figure out why the German police are so interested in Bruckner, and clearly they've found quite a lot of dirt on him. Unfortunately, although he is the perfect suspect and even apparently worked at the tapas bar of the Ocean Club at one point, as much as the media tried to beat the drum of Bruckner's alleged involvement, all they're really doing is beating a dead horse.
So we can show pictures of him at key Maddie locations. Yeah. We can place him at the scene of an alleged confession. We've got stories where he describes his wish to abduct small children. Yeah.
None of this, though, is breaking news, and none of this is evidence. A hard drive found at a disused factory bought by the prime suspect in the Madeleine McCann investigation contains evidence she is dead, it has been claimed. German prosecutors believe Christian Bruckner killed the 3-year-old after she vanished during a family holiday in Praia de Luz, Portugal in 2007. This is all out of the media narrative. The drive was discovered in 2016 at a disused factory, which Bruckner bought in 2008 for £20,000. Investigators also found an insurance document which proves the suspect was at a music festival where he's said to have confessed to killing Madeleine. Now, if you're new to true crime, you might consider all of this breaking news and breakthrough news. The Sun also grandiosely claims this is a world exclusive with brand new evidence. However, if you know the McCann case fairly well, you ought to know literally all of this amounts to one huge nothing burger. You know, a hard drive found at a disused factory bought by the prime suspect in the Madeleine McCann investigation contains evidence she's dead. It has been claimed. It has been claimed means zilch when it comes to evidence. I can claim pigs fly in the middle of July. A claim isn't evidence. It's a claim. German prosecutors believe Christian Bruckner killed the 3-year-old after she vanished during a family holiday in Praia de Luz, Portugal in 2007. Well, German prosecutors are so convinced of Bruckner's guilt, they've forgotten to charge him. Right? They've forgotten to put him on trial for the charges they suspect him of. Even if they do charge him, I wouldn't hold my breath that anything is going to come from it. Nothing came from the numerous charges they failed to pin on him over the past several months. This was in 2024 when he was on trial and he was acquitted on literally every single charge. If the case against him connecting him to Madeleine wasn't even more frivolous than those charges, you can bet they would have charged and tried him, but they haven't. Instead, he's due for release later this year. The other thing that I think is interesting is this whole idea that Christian Bruckner killed Madeleine after she vanished. Why then is there cadaver traces in the apartment, which seems to show that she died on the scene? Also, why are there cadaver traces apparently in the vehicle? How did they get there if Christian Bruckner is responsible for everything? So, we are really talking about so-called evidence that's over 9 years old, hardly brand new and hardly breakthrough. Now, when they say investigators also found an insurance document which proves the suspect was at a music festival where he's said to have confessed to killing Madeleine, well, so did Gary Oliva and John Mark Carr in the Ramsey case. And we know both of them were huge nothing burgers, and we know the American media are still making or trying to make something out of those nothing burgers. A confession outside of a police setting hardly means anything. And this one can hardly be called evidence, especially since Bruckner currently denies guilt for this specific crime. According to the newspaper, the hard drive contains sickening images that prove Bruckner's obsession with young people. And I think for a lot of people, that's enough, right? In the court of public opinion, that's enough. But in the real world and in a criminal court, in a courtroom, that is nowhere near enough. And fortunately that is the case, because how many people are out there with sickening images? You could find people with sickening images all over the place. Does that mean that they committed a specific crime? In particular, this specific crime? No, it doesn't. And so let me ask you, which evidence is stronger? Cadaver traces in the apartment or images on a hard drive and no charges against Bruckner? Let me know in the comments. Now, as some of you may know, I'm in Praia de Luz right now. I would have actually preferred to have covered proper investigative angles and doing proper analysis rather than just second guessing this nonsense. But anyway, this is where we are. In the next analysis, we'll examine something you never hear about. We're going to compare jogging routes from the Ocean Club and the abductor's route. Have you ever seen anyone do that? So that is what we're going to examine in the next episode. So look out for that. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys next time.